So Jagex just gave us another economy update for what's going to be happening in the future here in old school RuneScape, and I'm not 100% a fan of what they've done. They've announced here that they obviously pitched us the flat rate of 2%, and they say that obviously that's considerably lower than the rate other games use in their auction houses. They've now lowered it to 1% and added a cap to the amount of coins that can be taxed on here, coming into the future of how the tax is going to work on the Grand Exchange. I think this is bad news, and I personally haven't seen a lot of people complaining about the new tax coming in. People who have had a completely flawed logic and zero evidence to why they think this is a bad thing for the economy. But in the grand scheme of things, I want to quickly just summarize and tell you what I think that should happen. One, they should keep the 2% and have the 5 mil cap, or they should remove the 5 mil cap and have 1%. If they're going to have 1%, have no cap on the amount of coins that can be taxed. It should be able to go well above 5 mil easily. If they are going to have a cap of 5 mil, then I think 2% is acceptable. Even if they want to come to some sort of medium and raise that to 10 mil or whatever, I don't know. I think 2% was a beautiful number. It works very well, and obviously there's a few arguments that people are going to make. We'll go through them now. I just want to discuss my opinion, my thoughts, and you guys can tell me if I'm fucking wrong in the chat, and I can tell you to fuck off. Now, first and foremost, an argument people make is that the Grand Exchange will no longer be used. For example, if we use a T-Bow, what's the price of a T-Bow right now? 879 mil. So if you were to tax 1% of that, that's what, 8.7 mil tax? So if it was 2%, it's about 16, close to 17, or just over 17 mil in tax that you're going to be paying when you sell a T-Bow. I use a T-Bow for example because it's a high value item that people trade a lot and they rate it very highly. So I think the T-Bow is an acceptable example here. If you were to sell a T-Bow for 879 mil and you come out with 861 mil and you were upset, you need a bullet. Now, before we actually get into this argument, I have one simple question, and that is when you use the Grand Exchange and you're buying and selling things, say you're trying to buy fire runes, bones, food, potions, herbs, whenever you're trying to buy something on the Grand Exchange, how often do you choose what you want, hit plus 5% for buying and send it, or pick what you're selling, hit minus 5% and send it? And it doesn't even cross your mind, you just want to get the sale over. We're already committing to a 5% loss on our items. Like that, we're already committing to spending more than 5% or losing 5%. 2% is not even half of that. And a lot of the time, if you go sell minus take 5% off, you will normally make more than that. You normally won't lose the entire 5%. It's very unlikely that you normally do because you're just looking for that quick sale. The convenience of the Grand Exchange is so fucking good. And that's why I am a firm believer that people will not stop using the Grand Exchange regardless of the tax. If you think for a fucking second that people are going to go to World 302 and try trade high-ticket items like the Twisted Bow, no, I disagree. What's going to happen is, now this is an educated assumption based off of basically being a content creator. From what I've witnessed and experienced with a community that I've grown myself over the past year or so, is that I'm going to say 70% of all Twisted Bows exchanged on the Grand Exchange are not coming from Chambers of Xeric. They're coming from people who are trying to merch them or sell them because, oh, they're dropping in price. My T-Bow's dropping. I've got to sell the T-Bow quickly so I can quickly have it. Or I only want it for one run, then I'm going to sell it again so I don't lose money just in case it drops. Or they're just buying T-Bows, not because they can afford them mentally, but because they're just trying to do it so they can take advantage of it, then sell it so there's no financial strain. What this tax might do, is more than likely to do, is not send people to World 302 to trade Twisted Bows and high-ticket items like Elysians and Scythes. What it's going to do is stop people from being fucking idiots. Now, when you have a Twisted Bow, you're either going to have it because you can afford to have it, because you can live with the fact that you have an 800 mil item and you don't need anything else, or you're just not going to buy a Twisted Bow. You're going to use your fucking head, and you'll probably buy a full crystal and a bow for it, send it, and just enjoy every piece of content in the game with better value gear, such as the bow for and full crystal, until you can afford a T-Bow without needing to worry about the price of it. If you would rather have the 800 mil cash tag for something else, guess what? You're not getting a Twisted Bow. It's that simple. Again, I'm just using the Twisted Bow as an example item. This is same thing can be used for things like the Bludgeon even, or Inquisitors. The Twisted Bow is just easier to use as a ground item here, so stay with me when I tell you this idea. The Grand Exchange tax is good. 2% was a great price. I think Jagex is making a huge mistake by reducing it to 1%. Now let me show you something here. This is the Grand Exchange over the past week. These items here are the most traded items on the Grand Exchange in the past week. Not a single item on here is a big ticket item. Everything is runes, ammunition, food, consumables, you name it, it's on here. Shit you use daily. Battle staffs, sand buckets, fucking sharks, green dragon leather, any rune, darts, bolts, bows, shit that's alked, adamant bars, mithril bars, ores, coal, anything on here from fucking grapes to 24-inch dildos, they're on here, they're used dailies. If we go the last 6 months, not trying to give anyone a heart attack here or any surprises, but it's the exact same fucking list in the last 6 months. Not a single big ticket item. 80 to 90% of the daily trades on the Grand Exchange are these items. Most of the people using the Grand Exchange are buying consumables and buying runes and resources to keep their account moving. You're not going to go to World 302 to buy 16,000 fucking fire runes. You're going to go to the Grand Exchange, cop the small tax because it's more convenient. Because you're not going to get scammed and because it's just fucking easier. You're not even going to notice the tax. I don't believe 2% is too high. I believe if you think 2% is too high, you're a fool. And I've played enough games. I've fucked around enough in gaming economies. And I've got a big enough cock to know that the Grand Exchange tax is not a bad idea and 2% is a great pointer. Okay, 16 mil or 17 mil lost on your twisted bow. If you cry about that, you need a bullet. I think Jagex is making a huge mistake. I don't believe Jagex can implement a 1% tax and then in 6 months time feel like adding another 1%. That's not possible. I think this is their one shot. This is Jagex's one chance to add a tax, their one chance to add a 2% tax, and if they don't do it now, it's fucked. It's it. We're going to have a 1% tax. It's not going to matter. It's going to be a slower build up, and it's just not. We need a bigger tax to be able to make a bigger impact on the economy and fuck these merch clans off. Merch clans are 80% of the problem here. People that merge, people that flip, they are the sort of people that just, they're the problem with the economy, and they're the people that have a problem with this economy. If you still don't believe me and you're honestly deluded with the idea that the Grand Exchange will be dead and not used for high ticket items or any items at all because of the tax, I got bad news for you. You might have fucking brain damage. It's not going to happen. It doesn't happen. You don't go play World of Warcraft and find people not using the auction house because there's a tax. The auction house is used fucking every day for every fucking item, regardless of gender. Yes, there are third-party ways to do it. There still is in the game now with Grand Exchanges, with the Grand Exchange, sorry, in old school RuneScape. But there are also more scams. There's also more ways to get your fucking shit jacked up, and you don't want to fuck with that. So if you want to avoid the trouble, you will just, as humans, we'll just settle with the easy path and use the Grand Exchange. 2% is where it should be. Jagex, I don't know if you're ever going to fucking hear this message, but if you don't stick with 2%, you're going to fuck it. Don't make this mistake. Poll it even. Just poll it. Ask the community, because I've not heard many complaints, if any complaints, from people worrying about the 2% tax in general. If anything, it's just the tax. 2% is fine, and if anyone has a problem with that, you can, by all means, shut the fuck up. That's my little rant there. I honestly believe 2% is perfect. If they want to add, say, a 10 mil cap on, but still have 2%, that's fine, because that means very little amounts of high ticket items will be fucked by that, and that's okay. I can live with that. I don't think I have too much more to say on this situation at the moment. Just remember that yes, the items here, or whatever they're fucking called, the Grand Exchange, the most traded items, things that are getting traded over the last 6 months, you know, max 331 mil fucking fire runes have been traded. It's still gonna happen. It is still gonna happen. Oh, total 24 bill over the last 6 months. Fire runes have been traded back and forth on the Grand Exchange. It's still gonna happen. People aren't gonna go to World 2 for that shit. If people are going to World 2 for twisted bows, if you go to World 2 instead of the Grand Exchange for a twisted bow to make an extra 10 mil, and you get scammed, good. Honestly, if people get scammed in World 2 because of this, I hope, good. You deserve to be scammed. That's my final message. Jagex, make it 2%. Don't make this mistake. Just stick to your fucking guns. If people are crying about it, you do have the authority and the power as a game developer to tell people to get the fuck over it. And honestly, I think a lot more people would respect you for it than you realize. Yeah, I'm done. All right, go to the GamerSupps website and check out with code Condor for 10% off, boys. Don't be a fucking dog. All right, come to the live streams here on YouTube. I'll be live for a couple hours after I upload this video, and then 5 days a week, every other week after the fucking upload of this video. I've got a huge cock. Discord.gg/BigDickEnergy. Most importantly, suck a fucking fat one, boys. And I'll see you later, cunt.